Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something a lot of you asked about. It's about how successful people, think.
Right. We got pointed towards a 7-minute reads summary, John C. Maxwell's book, How Successful People Think.
Exactly. And we thought, yeah, let's unpack this.
Absolutely. So our goal here isn't just like reading the summary back. We want to pull out the real gems, the core ideas about how successful folks approach thinking.
I'll give you something practical, stuff you can actually use, whether you're, leading a team, starting something new, or just want to grow personally.
That's the plan. Because Maxwell's big idea, it's pretty powerful, isn't it?
It really is. That success starts. Well, it starts in your head, how you think.
He says thoughts lead to habits, and then habits, they shape your results. Makes sense.
Totally. So if you want different results, you got to look at your thinking first. This summary gives us a great way in.
Yeah, it lays out, 5 key ways successful people think differently.
Yep, the top 5 according to the summary. So let's jump into number 1.
Let's do it. Big picture thinking. What exactly are we talking about here?
Well, it's basically about lifting your gaze, looking beyond just today or this week.
Seeing the longer term view.
Right. Thinking about the long range effects of what you're doing. And crucially, how it impacts others, not just yourself.
So the questions they ask are different.
Yeah. The summary suggests they're constantly asking, okay, how does this fit into the bigger plan? Or who else is affected by this decision?
It's interesting. It's like having a mental compass guiding your choices based on a future destination.
Exactly. It stops you from just sort of reacting to whatever pops up.
Right. Getting stuck putting out fires all day instead of, building something fireproof.
Yeah, good way to put it. It shifts you from reactive to strategic.
And I guess that long-term view naturally helps clarify your overall vision, doesn't it?
It does. When you know the destination, the why, it becomes way easier to focus.
You can filter out the noise.
Totally. Filter distractions, concentrate on what actually moves you forward. And that focus, ultimately, is what drives results.
So the question for listeners is maybe, are your daily actions really pushing towards that big picture? Or just dealing with the immediate?
Good prompt. And that kind of leads perfectly into the second point, doesn't it?
Focus thinking, yeah. So if big picture is the wide angle,
then focus thinking is the zoom lens.
Yeah.
It's that ability to really zero in.
Concentrate fully on one thing at a time. Cut through the clutter.
Precisely. And the summary brings up Maxwell's rule of 5 here, which I thought was really concrete.
The rule of 5. Simple concept, but yeah, really effective. Can you lay that out?
Sure. So the idea is, figure out your main goal, your number 1 priority.
Okay.
Then commit to doing 5 specific things, just 5 every single day, that move you closer to that goal.
Every day. That's the key, the consistency.
Exactly. It's like compound interest for your efforts. Small, focused actions adding up over time leads to mastery eventually.
It forces you to be intentional, doesn't it? You have to know your priority and then deliberately act on it.
Right. Makes you think, what are your 5 things today? What are those non-negotiables getting you closer?
It's not just about being busy. It's about being productively focused.
Yeah. Which, interestingly, allows space for the next type of thinking.
Creative thinking.
Yes. And this isn't just for artists or musicians, right?
Not at all. The summary makes that clear. Successful thinkers use creativity to tackle problems. They approach things with curiosity.
And they're willing to step outside the box. Yeah. Try unconventional approaches.
Absolutely. Real innovation often comes from asking different questions, not just finding slightly better answers to the old ones.
Challenging the that's how we've always done it mindset.
Exactly. And the summary gives some good pointers on how to actually do that, like consciously suspending judgment for a bit.
Right. Don't shoot down ideas immediately just because they sound weird.
Ask what if a lot. Play around with ideas. Brainstorm without limits.
Even flipping a question on its head can spark something new.
It really can. Think about how the smartphone came about. It wasn't just improving phones. It was rethinking communication entirely.
It's like a muscle, isn't it? Creativity. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
That's a perfect analogy, which is maybe a good transition to the next one. After all that outward looking.
Yeah. Time to look inward. Reflective thinking.
The summary calls this one a hidden superpower. I like that.
We do. It's about actually taking the time, carving it out, to look back.
To review progress, figure out what worked, what didn't.
And where you need to adjust. It's easy to just keep moving to the next thing.
So easy. But reflection is where the learning sticks. The summary suggests some really good questions for this.
Yeah, like asking yourself daily, okay, what did I actually learn today?
Or Where did I win? Where did I mess up?
And maybe the most important one. Based on today, what should I do differently tomorrow?
Simple questions, but man, they pack a punch if you actually ask them consistently.
It's how experience turns into actual wisdom, isn't it?
Exactly. You're not just accumulating experiences, you're processing them, extracting lessons, like a pilot reviewing flight data.
Right. Looking for ways to optimize the next flight based on the last one. Makes total sense.
It's that continuous improvement loop. Learn, adapt, improve.
Okay, so that brings us to the fifth and final thinking style from the summary.
Possibility thinking.
This one feels really optimistic.
It is. It's fundamentally about believing in a better future, even when things are tough.
And actively looking for the opportunities hidden inside problems.
Yeah, seeing the potential where others might just see a dead end. It's that mindset that asks, why not me? Or how can this be done?
Instead of immediately jumping to, that's impossible.
Right. The summary quotes Maxwell directly here, something powerful.
Oh, yeah. You can't afford to be a pessimist. The future belongs to those who believe in possibility. That hits home.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because that belief, that core optimism, it actually fuels action, doesn't it?
It has to. If you don't believe it's possible, why would you even try?
Exactly. It creates this positive feedback loop. You believe, so you act, you persevere through setbacks, and that makes the possibility more likely.
Whereas pessimism just stops you in your tracks.
Totally paralyzing. So the idea is to train your mind, like consciously look for the good, expect positive outcomes.
And then put in the work to make them happen. It's not just wishful thinking.
Not at all. It's belief combined with action.
Okay, so those are the 5 big thinking styles. Big picture, focused, creative, reflective, and possibility. Quite a toolkit.
Definitely. So how do we start using this toolkit? What actionable steps does the summary suggest?
It offers 3 really practical starting points. First one, a morning mindset check.
Just taking a minute when you wake up.
Yeah. Asking yourself, okay, what kind of thinker do I want to embody today sets the intention.
I like that. Simple but powerful. What's the second?
Block out time for deep thinking. Seriously, schedule it, even just 15 or 20 minutes.
Dedicated time, no distractions. For reflection or planning or creative brainstorming.
Exactly. Consistency over quantity, maybe.
Makes sense.
And the third, this one's about your environment. Surround yourself with great thinkers.
How? Like literally or?
Well, both maybe. Through the books you read, the stuff you listen to, the conversations you seek out. Be intentional about your influences.
Ah, okay. Because who you think with shapes how you think.
That's the idea. It's a strong reminder about the power of your intellectual circle.
Definitely. Now, there was also a key quote highlighted in the summary, wasn't there? One that kind of ties it all together.
Yeah, it's a good one. Maxwell says, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine."
Why is it so relevant here, do you think?
Because it nails the point that it's not about some massive, sudden overhaul of your thinking.
Right. It's about the small, consistent, daily shifts.
Exactly. Applying these thinking styles, even in small ways, every day. That's where the real change happens. It's the accumulation.
It makes mastering these ways of thinking feel less like reaching a finish line and more like an ongoing practice, a daily commitment.
Yeah, mental discipline, practice daily. That's what the summary really points to as the foundation of success. Way more than just like luck or raw talent.
And that message isn't just for CEOs, right?
Not at all. The summary points out this is relevant for leaders, sure, but also students, entrepreneurs, anyone really who wants to be proactive about their growth.
So it comes back to that idea of mental discipline, the daily choice to think better.
Pretty much. And the summary itself got a 9/10 rating, apparently, which suggests people find these ideas really practical and impactful.
Yeah, it sounds like really useful stuff. So wrapping up this deep dive into the summary, the main takeaway seems clear.
Which is?
That being intentional about cultivating these 5 ways of thinking, big picture, focused, creative, reflective, possibility, can really move the needle on your success and just, well, your fulfillment.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening.
Go on.
As you go about your day, maybe just pick one. Which of these thinking habits really struck a chord with you today?
And decide to consciously practice just that one, starting now.
Yeah. Just start there. Because even those small tweaks in how you approach things mentally, they can build some serious momentum towards whatever you're aiming for.
That's a great closing thought. And thanks again for sharing the source material with us. It was a really worthwhile exploration.
Agreed. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.